Diddy Docket for Tuesday, June 24th. Both sides rested their case today. And I am surprised. The prosecution put on 6 weeks of witnesses, testimony, evidence, and the defense put on 30 minutes with no witnesses. And the question I have is where's KK? Where is Christina Quorum? We heard her name so many times from so many witnesses, and she never took the stand. I need to know what happened. The Homeland Security Special Agent is back on the stand, but really nothing new. More text messages between Diddy, Cassie, and different escorts about planning their flights, paying for travel, setting up the hotel night. With the defense attorney outlining that some of the expenses were paid from Diddy's personal account through his personal travel agent. The jury has to sit through about 6 more minutes of explicit videos. They say they only have to watch one more clip. I'm sure they are happy about that. After the special agent is done being cross-examined, the prosecution does rest his case. Then the defense makes a motion for a Rule 29, asking for acquittal on all grounds for Diddy, stating that the government failed to meet its burden of proof and they did not provide enough evidence to reasonably convict him. This is typical. This is not surprising that they would make this request, but it is rarely ever granted. This goes count by count in their argument to have all the charges dismissed. They start with that the prosecution failed to prove alleged crimes, that there was no conspiracy, that the people that were involved in the hotel nights were not employees of Diddy's, that the assistants rarely knew what actually was going on, and they were just doing what was part of their job as far as cleaning up and setting up for the hotel nights. They argue there's no evidence that Christina Quorum, the chief of staff, had any evidence or knowledge that the women or escorts were being coerced to participate in these activities. Again, they also argue that the government failed to provide enough evidence that shows that Cassie was specifically coerced to participate in all of these acts. There was no evidence directly saying that she refused or was denied participation in any of the freak-offs. The judge speaks directly to Diddy, making sure that he understands his right to take the stand in his own case. That wrapped up their entire case. The prosecution decided to not move forward with any type of rebuttal after the defense rests. So the jury will be out tomorrow. Closing arguments will begin Thursday. Hopefully they'll be over by Friday. Considering the defense only put on 30 minutes, I am wondering how long their closing argument is even going to be. Estimated that the jury will start deliberating on Monday. The government did respond to the defense's request for the Rule 29 motion, asking for an acquittal on all charges, that the record they developed at trial was enough and sufficient to submit to the jury for a decision. The judge has held off on ruling on the Rule 29 motion. Until next time.